folks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have made their selection in the 19th pick of the third round. They have selected YaYa Diaby, edge defender out of Louisville. And this guy is a freak athlete, folks. 6'3", 263 pounds, ran a 4.51 40-yard dash, 1.56 10-yard split, 37-inch vertical jump, 10-foot broad jump, folks. This continues the trend of the draft for the Buccaneers so far this year, which has been athleticism, speed, and heck, more athleticism. That has been what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been doing throughout the entirety of this draft process so far up to this point. You've seen it with the Cody Mauch pick. You've seen it with the YaYa pick. And now you are seeing it yet again with the YaYa Diaby pick. And look, at the end of the day, this is going to be a very intriguing situation for YaYa. How is he going to do with Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, Anthony Nelson, Shaq Barrett returning from his Achilles injury? You've also got Logan Hall along the defensive line. You now have YaYa along the defensive line. Greg Gaines in there as well. Todd Bowles is the defensive style of guy, right? And when I look at YaYa and what he could potentially be, I think that there are a lot of possibilities there. I think that you can have YaYa Diaby obviously play edge defender. I think that that's going to be where he's going to be used primarily. But can you put him as an inside linebacker? Can you put him along the defensive line in some situations, get his hand in the dirt? I think he's got the athleticism to do those types of things. And we've talked about the versatility that Todd Bowles likes in his defenders. We've talked about what Todd Bowles likes to see in defensive guys in terms of moving them around. And maybe YaYa Diaby is going to be a guy who's going to be moved around, playing outside linebacker and inside linebacker, playing on that defensive line in some situations, running in with 4 or 5-man pass rushing, 6-man pass rushing opportunities. Again, I love the athleticism that the Buccaneers have been showcasing in these draft picks, and YaYa Diaby, coming out of the combine, was the number 2 defensive end ranked in terms of athleticism score. Production did leave somewhat to be desired there from YaYa. I think that overall production does not match what we've been seeing in terms of athleticism from the player out of Louisville, but if he can put it together and he can overall get some pretty solid chemistry and reps under his belt, I think you're going to see success. And even going into his senior year, I think that while production wasn't great in his junior year, you still saw some good numbers. He had 9 sacks, 14 tackles for loss, 2 passes defended, and 2 fumbles recovered. That's some pretty good numbers, in my opinion, for a senior year from YaYa Diaby. And I think it showcases that this dude, much like I've said with other guys like YaYa, can do a little bit of both. Defending a run, rushing the passer, a little bit of a tackler in there as well, and I think that's how he's going to be used. I think he's going to be a very versatile guy that's going to be moved all around the field and is going to be a very strong rotational type of guy right away for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. So welcome YaYa Diaby out of Louisville to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Phenomenal athleticism for a guy of his size, which has been the freaking trend for this draft so far this year, and it should be very interesting to see how these players are used in the future. But one thing I want to say real quick here is, what do you guys want to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do here throughout the remainder of the draft? They certainly have a lot of options, a lot of different ways that they can go. They have a couple of late round picks, could trade back up into the 4th round. They have some guys in the 5th round. They obviously have some picks in the 6th and 7th round. We may continue to see them address defensive needs like cornerback, safety, some of the things along those lines. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. So far, I think this has overall been a pretty solid draft for the Bucs. They've addressed a lot of different needs, right? You got a defensive lineman in round 1 who I feel like could do so many different types of things. You've got an offensive tackle in round 2, potentially an offensive guard who I feel like can do a lot of different types of things. And you got a guy in round 3 who could play inside, rush from inside, I guess I should say, rush from an outside edge rushing perspective as well, maybe put his hand in the dirt. Again, 260 is a defensive end type of weight and build there. I think you've got a lot of different options with all these different types of guys, and I feel like that matters so much for a defensive mind like Todd Bowles in what he wants to do on the defensive side of things. And then on the offensive side of things, you got a guy in Cody Mauch who has started 37 games at left tackle. So the Bucs, I think, have had an overall pretty solid draft so far up to this point. But what do you guys think about the YaYa Diaby pick? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, folks, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, folks, and as always, goodbye for now. See you in the next pick that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers make, and go Bucs.